Okay. I found her. Good morning, everyone. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
For those of you who may not be familiar, that means it's a wonderful, beautiful Sabbath, maybe a Sabbath of peace. So we want to welcome all of you together as we are here not only to celebrate our Shabbat morning worship, but especially to celebrate Beau and this big milestone in Beau's life to become a bar mitzvah. So thank you for being here. We will begin with a song that shares all of those sentiments.
If you'd like to follow along with the words, you can find them on page 10. The words are Hine ma tov, how wonderful it is for us to be together.
Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad.
When you walked in just a few minutes ago, you may have received, excuse me, my voice is going a little bit. You may have received one or two books. Hopefully one of them says Shabbat on the spine. This is our Siddur. This is our prayer book that we will be using. If you want to be able to follow along in the Hebrew for the Torah portion that Beau is going to be reading, then there's a larger book called the Torah, which you can take to follow along as well. We do use the Hebrew opening, which goes from right to left, so if it looks like it's going in the wrong direction, it is, but it's intentional. We also will be reading one of the readings on either side of the page, and so it will seem as if we're turning pages frequently. That's okay, but we will be letting you know what page we are on as often as we can. So with that, I'm going to invite Beau to come forward. And to begin, we will begin on page 66. Page 66.
Each of us enters this sanctuary with a different need. Some hearts are full of peace and gratitude, overflowing with love and joy. They are eager to confront the day, to make the world a better place. They are recovering from illness or have escaped misfortune. We rejoice them. Some hearts ache with sorrow. Disappointments weigh heavily on them. Families have been broken. Loved ones lie on a bed of pain. Death has taken a cherished one. May our presence and caring bring them comfort. Some hearts are embittered. Ideals are betrayed and mocked. Answers sought in vain. Life has lost its meaning and value. May the knowledge that we, too, are searching restore our hope and renew our faith.
At this time, I'd like to invite James Klein, Beau's grandfather, to come forward to present him with his tallis. Share anything about the tallis? Thank you.
Beau, the tallit I just gave you was given to me new by my father. The tallit I just gave you was given to me new by my father at my bar mitzvah 62 years ago. And that year of study for my bar mitzvah was a very important one for me because I studied with my rabbi, who was Rabbi Harold Saperstein, who was a very wonderful leader of social justice sensibility about Judaism. That he, many of his sermons, which were later collected, were about equality and about ending discrimination and about, kindness to people, that all people are family and that we're part of. He actually marched with Martin Luther King at Selma, across that bloody bridge, and spoke of that in the sermons. I heard those sermons, and in my time studying for bar mitzvah, I really learned that the history and the sensibility and the spirit of Judaism is one of making the world a better place, of healing the world, and of caring about others and living our lives, really trying to make a difference in other people's lives, and really ending discrimination and racism and all of that. And it helped shape my whole life, and I hope in presenting you with this talent, it will also mean a lot to you in terms of, I know you're a deeply caring person. I know you'll play a role in making this a better world.
Wait.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech ha'olam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu latit atef, batzi tzit.
Amen. We continue our service on page 74.
Ma tovu, ma tovu, ho'alecha Yaakov, mishkanotecha Yisrael, ma tovu, ma tovu, ho'alecha Yaakov, mishkanotecha Yisrael. ביראתך מה טובו, מה טובו, אוהלך יעקב, משכנותיך ישראל, מה טובו, מה טובו, אוהלך יעקב, משכנותיך ישראל, אדוני אהבתי מעון ביתך, ומקום משכן כבודך, משכן כבודך, ואני אשתחווה ואכרע אברך לפני אדוני. משכנותיך ישראל, מה טובו, מה טובו, אוהלך יעקב, משכנותיך ישראל, ואני תפילתי לך, אדוני את רצון, אלוהים רוב חסדך, אלוהים רוב חסדך, ענני באמת אישך, מה טובו, מה משכנותיך ישראל, מה טובו, מה טובו, אוהליך יעקב, משכנותיך ישראל, משכנותיך ישראל.
We pray together on page 77. Don't let me fall as a stone falls upon the hard ground, and don't let my hands become dry as the twigs of a tree when the wind bears down the last leaves. And when the storm raises dust from the earth with anger and howling, don't let me fall. I have asked for so much, but as a blade of your grass in a distant wild field, let's drop a seed in the lap of the earth and dies away. Sow in me your living breath as you sow a seed in the earth. Baruch atah Adonai, rofeh chol basar, umafli la'asot. My God, the soul you have given me is pure. You created it, you shaped it, you breathed it into me, and you protect it within me. For as long as my soul is within me, I offer thanks to you, Adonai, my God, and God of my ancestors, source of all creation, sovereign of souls. Praised are you, Adonai, in whose hand is every living soul and the breath of humankind. Baruch atah Adonai, asher be'ado nefesh kol chai, veruach kol basar ish.
Page 80.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher nantan leshrit v'nai, lechavhin ben yom uven laila. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, pokeach ivrim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, matir asurim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, zokef kefufim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, rokach haaretz al hamayim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamechin b'tselem elogaver. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, malbish arumim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hanoten layav koach. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hama'avin shena me'enai, utnuma me'afapai. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani b'tselem Elohim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani ben chorin. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, azer Yisrael b'tirah. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, oter Yisrael b'tifarah. Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitzanu b'mitzvotav, v'tivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. O Adonai, our God, let the words of Torah be sweet in our mouths, in the mouths of your people Israel, so that we, our descendants, and the descendants of all your people Israel, may know you by studying your Torah for its own sake. Blessed are you, Adonai, who teaches Torah to your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Hamelamed Torah Le'amo Yisrael.
We continue together on page 106. Oh, I'm so sorry. Never mind. We are on page 88.
These are things that are limitless, of which a person enjoys the fruit of the world, which while the principle remains in the world to come. They are honoring one's father and mother, engaging in deeds of compassion, arriving early for study, morning and evening, dealing graciously with guests, visiting the sick, providing for the wedding couple, accompanying the dead for the burial, being devoted in prayer, and making peace among people. But the study of Torah encompasses them all.
We now continue together on page 106.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא תברך יותר וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי כל בית ישראל, בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך, והעלה מולל מהלמיה, יתברך, יתברך, וישתבח, ויתבהר, ויתרומם, ויתנשא, ויתהדר, ויתעלה, ויתהלל, שמי דקודשה ריחו. והעלה מכל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירן בעלמא, ואמרו אמן.
We rise for the Baruchu, page 108.
ברכו את אדוני המבורך, ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, yotzer or uvarei choshech, oseh shalom uvarei et hakol, ha'amir la'aretz v'ladarim aleha, berachamim, uvtuvo mechadesh bechol yom tamid, ma'aseh v'reshit, ma'rabu ma'asecha Adonai, kulam bechochma asita, Ye'ah ha'aretz kinyanecha, titbarach Adonai Eloheinu, al shevach me'osei yadecha, ve'al me'orei or she'asita, yevarucha sela, or chadash al Zion ta'ir, v'nizkei chulanu mechera le'oro. Baruch atah Adonai, yotzer ha'me'orot. How deeply you have loved us, Adonai, our God, gracing us with surpassing compassion. On account of our forebears who trust led you to teach them the laws of life, be gracious to us, teaching us as well. O merciful one, have mercy on us by making us able to understand and discern, to heed, to learn and teach, and lovingly to observe, perform, and fulfill all that is in your Torah. Enlighten our eyes with your Torah, focus our minds on your mitzvot, unite our hearts in love and reverence for your name. Then we will never feel shame, never deserve rebuke, and never stumble. Having trusted in your great and awesome holiness, we shall celebrate your salvation for joy. Gather us in peace from the four corners of the earth, and lead us upright to our land. For you, O God, work wonders. You chose us. Truly, you drew near to your great name, that we might acknowledge you, declaring you one in love. Praised be you, Adonai, who chooses your people Israel in love. Baruch atah Adonai, Habocher be'amo Yisrael be'ahava.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
Please be seated. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levecha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom alevavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibartam bam b'shivtecha bebetecha uvlektecha v'derech uvshochbecha uvkumecha ukshartam leod al yadecha v'hayu letotapot ben einecha Uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha lema'an tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hitem kedoshim le'Elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim Liot lechem le'Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem emet. Please turn to the bottom of page 121 as we pray responsively. The eternal truth is that you alone are God, and there is no one else.
May the righteous of all nations rejoice in your love and exult in your justice.
Let them beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks.
Let nation not lift up sword against nation, nor learn war anymore.
You shall not hate your brother or your sister in heart.
The stranger that sojourns with you shall be accepted as your equal, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt.
Why do you crush my people and oppress the poor? Asked God.
We know that the Eternal One defends the poor and upholds the rights of the needy.
Praise to God Most High.
Blessed is God and deserving of blessing.
Yael hayel 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 yael hayel 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 yael hayel 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 mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai mi chamocha nedad b'kodesh norati lo tosefele norati lo tosefele shir ha'chadasha shibechu geulim l'shimcha safat hayom yachad kulam hodu v'yimlichu v'yameru Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed Yael hayel 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 yael hayel 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 yael hayel hayel
Sur Yisrael kuma be'ezrat Yisrael ufedei chinumecha Yehuda v'Yisrael go'alenu Adonai Trevaot Shemo Kadosh Yisrael Baruch Ata Adonai Ga'al Yisrael.
Please rise and turn to page 124 for the Amidah. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagitai latecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, ve'Konei Hakol, ve'Zocher Hasdei Avot ve'Imahot, u'mevi Geula livnei b'neihem, Lema'an Shemo ba'ahava, Melech Ozer u'Mashiach u'Magen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechaye hakol atah Rav Lohoshia. Mashiv haruach u'marid hagashen, Mechalkil hayim bechesed, Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim berofeh cholim, Umatir asurim, Umechaye emunato, Lishenei afar, Michamocha bal gevurot, Umido melach, Melech b'mid u'mechaye u'matzmiach Yeshua v'ne'eman atah l'chaot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai Adonai hakol.
נקדיש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב היה נברך, וקרא זה ואמר, קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, מלוא כל הארץ, כבודו. אדיר, אדירנו אדוני, אדוננו ואדיר שמך בכל הארץ. ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו. אחד הוא אלוהינו, הוא אבינו ומלכנו, הוא מושיענו והוא ישביענו, ברחמיו לעיני כל חי. אדיר אדוני אלוהיכם, ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהי ציון, לדור ודור. הללויה. לדור ודור נכיר גודלך, ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש, ושבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Please be seated and turn to the bottom of page 134 and pray with me. Our God and God of our ancestors, be pleased with our rest. Sanctify us with your mitzvot and grant us a share in your Torah. Satisfy us with your goodness and gladden us with your salvation. Purify our hearts to serve you in truth. In your gracious love, Adonai, our God, Grant us your holy Shabbat as a heritage. May Israel, who sanctifies your name, rest on Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai, who sanctifies Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai, Adadesh HaShabbat.
We continue together on page 136.
Ritzi Adonai Eloheinu be'amcha Yisrael v'tefiltam לרצון תמיד עבודת ישראל עמך שפוך רוחך עלינו שפוך רוחך עלינו ותחזינה ליבנו בשובך לציון ברחמים ברוך אתה המחזיר שכינתו לציון
Turn to page 138. We acknowledge with thanks that you are Adonai, our God and the God of our ancestors forever. You are the rock of our lives and the shield of our salvation in every generation. Let us thank you and praise you for our lives which are in your hand, for our souls which are in your care, your miracles that we experience every day, and for your wondrous deeds and favors at every time of day, evening, morning, and noon. O good one, whose mercies never end, O compassionate one, whose kindness never fails, we forever put our hope in you. For all these things, O sovereign, let your name be forever praised and blessed. O God, our Redeemer and Helper, let all who live affirm you and praise your name in truth. Blessed are you, Adonai. Your name is goodness, and you are worthy of thanksgiving. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulecha na'et lehodot.
We turn to page 140.
שים שלום, טובה וברכה, חן וחסד ורחמים ורחמים עלינו, ועל כל ישראל, ועל כל ישראל עמך, ברכנו אבינו כולנו כאחד, באור בניך, כי באור בניך נתת לנו, אדוני אלוהינו. שים שלום, טובה וברכה, חן וחסד ורחמים ורחמים עלינו, ועל כל ישראל, ועל כל ישראל עמך, תורת חיים ובבת חסד, טובה וברכה, חן וחסד ורחמים עלינו, ועל כל ישראל, ועל כל ישראל עמך, וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שים שלום, טובה וברכה, חן וחסד ורחמים עלינו, ועל כל ישראל, ועל כל ישראל עמך.
We now take a moment for silent prayer and private meditation.
Yul ratzon imrefi, Yul ratzon imrefi, V'yul libi lefanecha, Adonai tzuri of my mouth, the meditation of my heart be acceptable before you, O God, my rock and my redeemer. Say shalom bimromav, say shalom aleinu, v'yako Yisrael,
As we begin to prepare for the Torah service, I invite you to turn to page 244. And it is my pleasure to call forward those involved in the first half of our Torah service, the Ark Openers and in the Torah Pass, to come forward as we rise. Page 244.
Ein kamocha v'Elohim Adonai
Ark Openers.
v'maasecha malchutcha malchut kol olamim u'memsharcha b'chol dor v'dor Adonai melech Adonai malach Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed Adonai oz le'amo yitin Adonai varech et amo v'shalom.
So today, Beau, this is a wonderful day. Our tradition teaches that Moses received the Torah at Sinai and transmitted it to Joshua, and from Joshua to the elders to the prophets, and the prophets to the men, because at that time it was always the men studying Torah, of the Great Assembly, and so on through the generations. And today you add yourself as the next link in that tradition as we, both literally and figuratively, pass the Torah through the generations of your family to you, that you may take it into your heart and into your head and carry it with you always.
You may be seated.
We're getting there. This is the get all the pages in order first. And then cough right after I turn the microphone on. So, our Torah portion this morning, almost said evening, this morning comes from Parshat Noach. If you picked up a Plout commentary on the way in, that's the one that says the Torah. Beau's portion, he'll be chanting from the beginning, which begins on page 59. And for the honor of the first Aliyah, it is my pleasure to call forward his aunt for the blessings and his grandmother for the translation. I see one. I see two. You can use it.
Baruch et Adonai Hambarak. Baruch Adonai Hambarak La'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bakar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natlatan et Torato, Baruch atah Adonai, noten ha'Torah.
Ele toledot Noach, ish tzadik, tamim haya bedoratav, Et ha'Elohim hithalech Noach, vayoled Noach shelosha banim, et Shem, et Cham, ve'et Yafet, vatishachet ha'aretz lifnei ha'Elohim, vatimale ha'aretz chamas, vayore Elohim, Et haaretz v'hinei nishchata, ki hishit kol basar, et darako al haaretz.
Good.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'hayei olom nata botenu, Baruch atah Adonai, noten ha'Torah.
Amen. Yasher Koch.
This is Noah's chronicle. Noah was a righteous man. In his generation, he was above reproach. Noah walked with God. Noah begot 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. The earth became corrupt before God. The earth was filled with violence. And when God saw how corrupted the earth was, how all flesh was acting in a corrupt way upon the earth.
And for our second Aliyah, it is my pleasure to call forward your grandfather for the blessings of the Aliyah and your other grandfather for the translation.
Bashuel Adonai Hamborah.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch atah Adonai v'ramla va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher baka banu mintol hamim. Natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai Netayim HaTorah.
Vayomer Elohim lenoach, kehetz kol basar, v'halifanaha, ki mal'ah haaretz, chamas mipnehem, v'hini mishchatam et haaretz, Aseh lecha teva ha'atze gofer, kinim ta'aseh et ha'teva, v'chafarta otah, mebayit umichot ba'kofer, v'zeh asher ta'aseh otah, Shalosh me'ot ama, orech hateva hamisim ama, rochba v'shelishim ama komataha, zohar ta'aseha lateva, ve'el ama techalena milmaila, ufetach hateva B'tzida tasim tachtim shanim v'shalishim ta'aseh.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chaim olam natu b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Reading first, and I'll give you a hug.
God said to Noah, "The end of all flesh has come to mind before me, because the earth is full of violence on their account. Look now, I'm going to wipe them off the earth. Make yourself an ark of gopher wood. Make the ark with rooms and cover it with tar inside and out. This is how to make it: 300 cubits long, 50 cubits wide, and 30 cubits high. Make a roof for the ark. Make it overhang from above by a cubit. Put the ark's door in its side and make a bottom, a second, and a third deck."
And for our third aliyah, it is my pleasure to call forward your mother for the blessings and your dad for the translation. For those who have been to B'nai Mitzvahs before, you will notice I did not use Hebrew names for our first two aliyot because we did not have Hebrew names. But as of this morning, Ta'amod, Lila Bat James La'aliyah.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Ha'olam, Asher Bachu Banu Michol Ha'amim, V'natan Lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Ve'ani hineni mebit et hamabomayim al haaretz le'shachat kovasar asher Beau ruach hachayim ve'tachat hashamayim kol asher ba'aretz yigva ve'hakomiti et beriti itach uvata El hateva ata uvanecha ve'ishtecha unshevanecha itach umikol hachai mikol basar shenayim mikol teva el hateva v'chachayot itach Zachar unkeva yehiyu meha'ov leminehu umin habhema Lamina Mikol Rames Ha'adama Laminahu Shenayi Mikol Yavahu Elecha Lachachayot Uvata Kachlecha Miko Me'ako Asher Yachel Ve'asavta Elecha Ve'haya Ve'lehem Le'ochla Vayash Noach Kechol Asher Tziva Oto Elohim Kenasa
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher natan lanu Torat amet v'chaye olam nata betochenu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
As for me, I am going to bring the floodwaters upon the earth to destroy all that lives under the heavens, all that has the breath of life in it. Everything on earth shall expire. With you, though, I will establish my covenant. Go then into the ark, you, your wife, your sons, and their wives with you, and take 2 each of every living creature of all flesh into the ark, male and female, to keep them alive along with you, every type of bird, every type of beast, every type of creeping thing. Let 2 of each come to you to keep them alive, and take along edible foodstuffs of every kind. Gather them up so that there is food for yourself and for them. And Noah did just as God had commanded him. That is what he did.
And for our 4th and final aliyah, and while reading from the Torah itself is essentially the hardest part of what Beau is doing this morning, the official crux of a bar mitzvah is calling you to the Torah and offering these blessings on behalf of our congregation for the first time. Ya'amod Boaz ben Laila la'aliyah bar mitzvah.
Baruchu et Adonai hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai hamvorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai hamvorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'nahatan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Vayomer Adonai leNoach bo ata v'kol beitecha el hateva ki otach ri'iti tzadik lefanaha bedor hazeh mikol habehema hatahara tekachacha ta Shiv'a ish v'ishto umin habehema asher lo tehora hi shanim ish v'ishto game'ov tash hashamayim shiv'a Zachar unkeva lechayot zara al pene kol haaretz ki lemim od shiva anochi Mamtihir Aharetz, Aravaim Yaham, Va'aravaim Laila, Umichoiti, Et Kol Ha'akum, Asher Asita, Me'o Penei Ha'adamah, Vayahas Noach, Kechol Asher Servahu Adonai. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Asher natan lanu Torat emet V'chaye olam Nata betochenu Baruch Ata Adonai Notein HaTorah.
And now you are most nervous about that aliyah, and yet you're the one that caught I forgot to call Doria. Yeah.
The Eternal One, wait, do I start? Okay. The Eternal One then said to Noah, "Go into the ark with all your household, for I see that you alone in this age are righteous before me. Take 7 pairs of every pure beast, a male and its mate, and 2 of every impure beast, a male and its mate. Of the birds in the sky, too, take 7 pairs, male and female, to give life to offspring on the face of the earth. For in another 7 days I will pour rain upon the earth for 40 days and nights, and wipe all that exists, all that I have made of the face of the earth." Noah then did just as the Eternal had commanded him.
You can come pretend like you like your brother. Which actually, for siblings, you all get along pretty well. You can. You do not have to stay up on the bima. You may go back to your seats. Oh, lies. Story, stay up here. I'm paying more attention to what you're doing. Yeah. We just want you to get some extra steps in. It's all good. Having completed our Torah reading, I invite you to rise if you are able as we lift the Torah and look to page 252 in our prayer books. Normally we would call an honor to lift the Torah, but Beau will be lifting the Torah for us this morning, and his sister will be dressing, and she was up here.
No, you're good.
No. We just need you. We do a rehearsal with the B'nai Mitzvah boy, not the sister. And then down and up. Turn around. 2 more steps, one this way. No, the Haftarah page. It's not 900. Thank you. So we will continue with our Haftarah reading. If you have the Torah commentary book, page 85. No, how did I? We don't need a blessing for birthdays right now. Oh, things that would have been helpful.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'nviim tovim v'ratza b'divreihem hane'amarim be'emet Baruch atah Adonai Habocher betorah uv Moshe avdo uv Yisrael amo uvin v'e ha'emet v'tzedek Perega katon azivtich Uvrachamim gedolim akabetzek beshetzef ketzef istarti fana rega mimech uvchesed olam richamtich amar go alech Adonai Kimei Noach Od Li Asher Nishba'eti Mi Avor Me Noah Od Al Haaretz Kein Nishba'eti Mi Ketzof Alayik Umagar bach ki hiharim yamushu v'hagvaot temutena v'chazdi meitech lo yamush Uvorit Shelomihi Lamuhotamut Amar Merachamech Adonai Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Zor Kol HaOlamim Tzadik Bechol Hadorot Ha'el ha'ne'eman, ha'omer ve'oseh, ha'medaber umkayeh, shekol debara emet ve'tzedek, al ha'torah, ve'al ha'avdah, ve'el ha'navi'im, ve'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh, shenatata lanu, Adonai Eloheinu, Likdasha v'limnucha lechol ba'od u'naret al hakol Adonai Eloheinu anocheinu me'od lach umavrichim otach yitbarach shimha befi kol chai tamid le'olam va'ed Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha-Shabbat.
You are probably the first student that my chanting that blessing slowly along with you actually messes you up.
You didn't mess me up.
For those who may have missed a word or two of the Hebrew, we have a translation.
For a brief moment I forsook you. With abiding love I take you back. In a moment of flooding anger I hid my face from you. But now, with love unending, I take you in, says your Redeemer, the Eternal One. This is like the days of Noah to me. I promised then never again to cover the earth with the waters of Noah's days. So now I promise never again to be angry with you or rebuke you, though the mountains may depart and the hills be removed, My love shall never depart from you, and my covenant of peace shall not be removed, says the one who loves you, the Eternal.
Welcome. I'm so grateful that each and every one of you is here to celebrate this with me. I just want to start off by thanking my mom for doing all the organization, planning, and logistics that comes with such a big event. For all my non-Jewish friends attending services today, a bar mitzvah is a celebration of maturity and responsibility. It's typically celebrated when you turn 13, but more on that in a bit. The portion of the Torah that I read today came from Parshat Noach, so I'll start with an outline of the portion. When Noah was alive, the world was full of evil and corruption. Since God did not like the violence in the world, God planned to wipe out the human race and start fresh. To do this, God would flood the earth. However, the Torah tells us that Noah was righteous among his generation and wouldn't be killed like everyone else. So God instructed to build an ark for Noah, his wife, and his 3 sons and their wives to stay in when the flooding happened. They would also need to bring male and female animals of every species on earth so they wouldn't become extinct. One significant lesson to take from this portion is the importance of righteousness. Noah could have been just like everyone else, but he was steadfast and determined to maintain his position as a righteous man. Noah had a choice. He could have simply taken the passive position of not committing crimes and ignoring religious obligations, but he chose to make the effort to rise above the rest of society when the others didn't put an effort at all. I believe he should be recognized for his righteousness, especially because it came at a time like this. With that being said, this portion, like many other Torah portions, also teaches us what not to do. In this case, I believe that Noah is not a perfect role model. He was picked to survive the flood and repopulate the earth because of his good choices. But when God told him God's plan, Noah didn't choose to make a difference. In the Torah, it says, "And Noah did just as God commanded him." That is what he did. This repetition shows us that Noah followed God's exact orders without questioning, suggesting, or even saying anything to convince God not to give up on humanity. In fact, Noah has no dialogue at all until chapter 9, verse 25, 3 chapters later, which is far after the flood and God's covenant. I believe that this shows us that just being righteous in a generation isn't always good enough. When Noah was told of God's plan to wipe out humanity, he could have reasoned with God and advocated for humanity like Abraham will do in Genesis. Noah also could have tried to take action and convince people to be righteous, like Jonah will do, as we read on Yom Kippur. Could he have invited others on the ark? Instead, he did merely as he was told. He built the ark, saved his family and the animals, just as God planned, and what ended up happening was close to the entire annihilation of the human species. Is that the sign of a righteous person? For me, choosing to go above and beyond and make a difference is the most important part of becoming a bar mitzvah. When you become a bar mitzvah, you must learn to make your own choices and become the person you want to be and be seen as. For example, instead of doing the activities your parents force you to do, you must choose activities that you force yourself to do. Becoming a bar mitzvah gives you the freedom of choices, but also the responsibility of choices. About 3 years ago, my mom decided to show me an old family book that was filled with pictures from my Gramps' bar mitzvah. I thought it was interesting because I had never known much about my Gramps' early life and how much he practiced Judaism. At that point, my family wasn't actively practicing Judaism other than Hanukkah and Passover, and my dad's side of the family is not Jewish. I was already 11, and there were no plans for me to have a bar mitzvah. When I saw those pictures, however, I decided on my own that I wanted to reconnect with my family's tradition and have a bar mitzvah. My parents helped me by signing me up for Sunday school. 3 years later, and I'm here. I am celebrating this moment a little later than most kids, but it is a choice I made, and I wanted to make sure I was ready and able to do everything first. Since the story of Noah teaches us to go above and beyond and help protect animals amid bad human choices, I chose a bar mitzvah project that spoke to these teachings. I have a cat named Zipper who has had a very hard life. When he was a stray, his family was poisoned to death by a neighbor, certainly not righteous human behavior. When he was 2, he got hit by a car and had to recover in the crate for months. I decided to spend hours in the bathroom where his crate was, just so he could leave the crate and take off the collar. In my mind, I knew he was going through something rough, and I wanted him to feel cared for. With him and my portion in mind, I chose to make a difference by volunteering at the Humane Society of Greater Dayton to help cats who had gone through similar hardships to Zipper, giving them some of the same love and support as I give him, and as Noah gave the animals on the ark. Volunteering with animals is just one of the choices I've made and will keep making to fulfill Tikkun Olam, or repair the world. Rabbi Tina, from day one, when you tutored me in Hebrew for months, to teaching me in religious school, to being my guide for the past 6 months on everything for my bar mitzvah, you have played a big role in this journey, so I want to thank you. Thank you. I would also like to thank Rabbi Bodney Hallis for helping me create the speech, a task that I thought was impossible at one point. I would also like to thank my dad for happily incorporating Jewish tradition into his daily life and having nerdy conversations with me about different Jewish things I learned. I would also like to thank Courtney and Fred for the music. I would like to thank all of the Temple Israel staff for making today possible. I couldn't have done it without you guys. I would like to thank all my friends that showed up today for being supportive of me. And lastly, I would like to thank all my family that are here to me today. It means a lot to me that you all showed up. Thank you.
Beau, your dad and I want you to know how proud we are of you. We're proud of how hard you've been working to prepare for this day, and we're also proud of the young man you're becoming. You're curious and engaged, a great student, and a good sport. You're gentle and kind, helping your Oma and your Gigi, and being such a good friend to your cats and your sister. As you said in your speech, this bar mitzvah was not something your dad and I had planned. In 6th grade, you became interested in deepening your own connection to Judaism and made that decision to invest the nearly 3 years of work and study that led to this day. This really has been a gift to the rest of our family, bringing us into this community. And as I've joked with friends over the past year, this is the most Jewish I have ever been. Even though I was not raised practicing Judaism beyond holiday traditions, my dad and my grandparents, as you've heard, still raised me with a strong sense of what it meant to be Jewish. For our family and for me, being an American Jew meant belonging to a lineage of people who stand up for what is right. As you discover what being Jewish means to you, I hope you too will draw inspiration from the Jewish immigrants, including our ancestors, who left Europe and Russia to escape anti-Semitic laws and violence. I hope you will connect your line to Jewish working people exploited for cheap labor and facing anti-immigrant hate, who organized and led labor unions and led strikes against sweatshop conditions, and those who founded Yiddish socialist newspapers, who wrote poems, novels, and songs that inspired workers and activists. I hope you will feel a connection to Jewish young people who did the right thing even when it was hard. Students just a little bit older than you who rode buses to the South in 1964 with an interracial coalition in Mississippi Freedom Summer, some even losing their lives in the fight for voting rights and racial justice. And the young Jewish college students who celebrated Passover last spring in encampments on college campuses, advocating for a ceasefire and for peace and freedom for Israelis and Palestinians. And with our own Rabbi Karen, who just a few weeks ago was among faith leaders in Springfield, standing together against the racist anti-immigrant hate being spewed in our politics today. As you become an adult, joining your Jewish community, a diverse and complicated group, your dad and I wish you an open mind, an open heart, and even some of Noah's righteousness. Mazel tov, and we love you so much.
I've been having some issues talking, so I might not talk as long as I normally do. Most people don't get too upset about that. But I have Rabbi Sobo here who's able to help if I need to. It has been something really cool this year because having you become a bar mitzvah a little bit older has given me the opportunity to work with you as a student in confirmation. And usually I don't have that luxury. Not only do I get to know you a little bit better, but I also get to know you through the eyes of someone who's starting to see the world in very interesting and critical ways, who's asking real questions and trying to find real answers. And I've never met a more curious individual in my life. I love the questions that you bring. I love when you are so close with the answer, but you want to learn more. You say, I think I get it, but I want to know more. And hearing that you have been bringing Judaism into the family and allowing your family to grow, as I think I heard you saying, is a gift, because it teaches us and it reminds us that it is about a chain of tradition. And sometimes that chain goes in one direction, sometimes it goes the other, and it's holding on to both, the past as well as the future, and ensuring that the values that have been carried on before you continue to be carried on in the generations that follow. We're talking a lot in this Torah portion. Fortunately, you didn't have to read this part, where it goes through lots and lots of names, because we hear about the generations of Noah, because this behavior, I believe, you said it starts with righteousness, but he could have done better. And guess what? We do better later. And so we learn. And each generation increases in righteousness, in my opinion. And you have been bringing that into our community. And I know that you will continue to be not only righteous in your generation, but you will be a leader of righteousness into the future, always making a name for yourself and a name within our community that makes all of us so, so proud of you. I'm going to ask you to do something. You can't walk away this time. I'm just teasing you. I want you to look out into this room. Take a moment just to really look into the eyes of every individual who is here. You did something really special today. You brought all of us together into this space, into one community, for we could be here to praise you and to celebrate you, but also to remind ourselves that even if this group never came together before, today we are one, today we are celebrating, and it is hopeful for us that we may always experience these moments, because I feel like when we have these moments, when you look in each other's eyes, the strength that you feel, do you feel it? The strength that you feel of so many people supporting you, I believe that in this is that connection with God. And there will be moments when you have difficult decisions to make. And there will be moments when you may feel like you're alone. But I want you to remember that you are never alone, that you have God and you have the strength of this community, and you will always feel the strength that your tradition, your people, your family bring to you, and that you bring to them. So with that, I want to wish you a mazel tov. Congratulations. We are so incredibly proud of you, and I am so looking forward to the rest of this year and getting to talk with you and learn more, as well as next year, I should say. 2 years of confirmation. So congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Can I give you a hug?
Invite you to rise as we return the Torah to the Ark, page 256.
It's Chaimi, Lama Chazikim Ba, V'tom Cheha, Meushar, Derachea, Darchenon, V'chonetim, Shalom, Hashivinu, Adonai Elecha,
today before the ark. We continue a tradition that began all the way in the time of our Torah that you read from. In it, we hear the priestly blessing, the blessing that we offer to you today. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and keep you.
Ye'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka.
May God's light shine upon you, and may God be gracious to you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
May you feel God's presence within you always, and may you find peace.
We continue with our service on page 282 with the words of Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabbat Adon hakol, latet g'dula l'tzeh breshit, shalom asarifirei aratzot, ve'lo samanu mishpachot ha'adama, shalom samkergenu kahem, ve'lo ro'enu ekechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, u'mishachavim u'modim,
The power.
Please pray with me on page 285 at the top. Let the time not be distant, O God, when all shall turn to you in love, when corruption and evil shall give way to integrity and goodness, when superstition shall no longer enslave the mind, nor idolatry blind the eye. O may all, created in your image, become one in spirit and one in friendship, forever united in your service. Then shall your realm be established on earth, and the words of your prophet fulfilled. Adonai will reign forever and ever.
Bayom Mahu, Yeh Adonai Echad, Ushemo Echad.
It's my pleasure to invite forward Fran on behalf of Temple's board.
Beau, I'm Fran Rickenbach. I lived in Yellow Springs for 41 years, and I knew parts of your family fairly well. Would you like to? Yes. Did you hear me? I'm Fran Rickenbach. I lived in Yellow Springs for 41 years. I knew parts of your family, and it is my pleasure as the president of Temple Israel to give you what I think are some important gifts and remembrances of your special day. So first of all, because nothing is official until we have a certificate. You have a certificate of your bar mitzvah, and as my mother would say to me, put it in your girl graduate book. That's not appropriate to you, but that's what she would say to me. Now, I'm really delighted to learn that you brought to your family some more Jewish traditions that you established. And we have for you a Kiddush cup, which you can use on Friday nights for Shabbat dinners. So appreciate that. And we have for you a gift certificate towards a special trip to the land of Israel. Now, this gift certificate has a value of $3,250, which is an amazing amount. And I hope that you will be able to commemorate your bar mitzvah by visiting Israel and learning more about the land of our tradition and heritage. And lastly, this is really important. I have a letter to read to you, and then I have a few words. Dear Beau, tzedakah is a Hebrew word for the acts that in English we call charity, and is derived from the word tzaddik, meaning righteousness, justice, or fairness. The giving of this charity and performance of righteous acts, therefore, is deeply ingrained in our Jewish ideas, values, and consciousness. As you begin your adult Jewish life, the Bettman family, through the Jewish Federation of Greater Dayton, is pleased to present this beautiful, personalized tzedakah box created by artist Gary Rosenthal, and it has your name on it. Yes. So it is Joe and Elaine Bettman's Hope. I know, I'm giving you a lot. Can we take some of that back? Don't want to mess up that certificate. Thank you. It is our hope that this special day and this gift will inspire you throughout your life to connect to your Jewish heritage through Ma'asim Tovim, righteous deeds, Tikkun Olam, the repair of the world, and tzedakah, charity. And so on behalf of the Bettman family and the Jewish Federation of Greater Dayton, Mazel Tov, and may every occasion be as sweet as this one. And I have some special words for you. You notice this tzedakah box, which is beautiful, has room for coins. I see you as a young man who can give a great deal more to your community, to our Jewish community here at Temple Israel, and the greater Jewish community. And I am going to be looking forward to watching you make those contributions in your future. Mazel tov.
We've already started recruiting him for Laylat services.
Indeed. You're excellent. And I must say, your chanting was absolutely marvelous and spot on. Pronunciation was great.
Thank you. So, since I didn't get to talk before, I'll pick up on that. I have the pleasure of teaching trope to all of our B'nai Mitzvah students, and while I can carry a tune, I am no cantorial soloist. And Beau is the first student in my 8.5-ish years here at Temple that I would go to teach him a phrase, and I think in our first session, the very first trope phrase we were learning, he's like, oh, well, I think that goes like to the 5th and then back to the 3rd, and my jaw dropped, and I looked at him, I'm like, if you say so. And with a few of the more complicated, fancier phrases, I would teach it to him. He would look at the notated music and go, doesn't it go like this? And I'm like, why, yes, that sounds better when you do it. Certainly the Haftarah, you chanted better than the recordings I gave you. So we are very proud of you, and it has been a pleasure working with you over the last year. And yes, I've got you on deck for some lay-led services. As we begin to conclude our service, we also take a moment to think of those who came before us, as we've invoked this image of the chain of tradition. As a congregation, and I mispronounced this name last night, we are in a period of Shiva for Balis? Yes, I had to remember how I tried it last night. And a period of Shloshim for Henrietta Lubo, David Cox, and Loretta Weber. We recall those who died at this season in years past with the yardsites of Anne Angel, Rosalind Levitt Bamberger, Earl Bixler, Ruth Bussey, David Kasher, Carl Cohen, Marvin Cooper, Joseph P. Diamond, Ralph Donenfeld, Marjorie Jane Emhoff, Ruth Getz, Maurice Golden, Adolf Goldenberg, John A. Goldswig, Eva Hoffman, Yale J. Holt, Harry Israel Jr., Harry J. Jacobs, Aaron Knoll, Molly Cusworm, Abraham I. Margolis, Miriam H. Margolis, Helmut Orgler, Alfred Orgler, Hedwig Orgler, Walter Orgler, Heinz Orgler, Edward Herb Raddick, Eleanor Seidel, Arnold Saldoff, Louis N. Saldoff, Roy Stepp, Carl A. Stern, Herta Wells, and Sophia Wolf. If there are other names that ought to be added or pronounced more correctly, I invite you to share them aloud as this hand meets your eyes. Thank you. I invite those in mourning or remembering to rise first. So we join them standing as one community in strength. Page 294. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba, be'alma divrach chirutei v'yamlich machutei, v'chayechon uvyomechon, uvchayei d'chol beit Yisrael, Bagala uvizman kariv vimru amen. Yehei shemei Rabba mevarach le'alam u'lamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal. Shemei degudasha barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Da'amiran bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. V'imru amen. Osei shalom b'imrumav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Leinu ve'al kol Yisrael. V'imru amen. You may be seated. I believe we have a few younger helpers that are going to be helping me pass things out to you. During our closing song, our younger helpers will be passing out candy. Take a piece or two. Do not eat it. You will get more directions in a moment. Do not eat it. That's the key part.
Our closing song will be the words at the bottom of our mourner's Kaddish, Oseh Shalom. May the one who causes peace to reign in the high heavens let peace descend on all of us and all Israel. Oseh Shalom bimromav, Hu yaseh Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, amen. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. So, in just a moment, after the Bima team has left the Bima, you will gently toss, and I emphasize toss. We are not throwing, but we are showering and tossing the candy towards Beau as an expression of sweetness for this very special moment. And you can also wish a mazel tov as you toss, again, toss the piece of candy towards him. And then anyone who would like to have a piece of candy is welcome to come up after. And I'll give you a count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Mazel tov. And before we all depart, we will have Beau lead us in the blessings over the wine. Oh boy, goodness.
Okay, Steph.
Not to us, please. Over the wine and the challah.
Steph.
Okay. Yep.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Barei pari hagafen.
Don't worry, it's great.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Motzi lechem min haaretz V'tei avon Shabbat shalom. Remember all that.
Thank you all for joining us this morning as we celebrate one of our wonderful students. It has been wonderful to be with you all, and if there are any younger helpers that might like to help clean up the bima of the candy, now would be an excellent time to do so. Shabbat shalom. I'll leave this over.
We're going to
would prefer the baskets stay here. But I'm gonna guess they're